You're not burned out because you're doing too much. You're burned out because you have no boundaries. And without boundaries, life doesn't get bigger, it falls apart. Because boundaries aren't about saying no, they're what makes life possible. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why so many people keep feeling exhausted, even when they're trying harder than ever. Dr. Dave here, aka The Garden Shrink. I'm an old psychologist with fresh insights into life, love, and gardening. Join me on a journey to increase both our fruit in the garden and in our professional lives. Whether you're just thinking about gardening as a hobby, or you're an old pro, or just someone interested in psychological advice minus the copay, I've got something for you. So come on, let's grow together. Now, after 35 years as a psychologist, I've noticed something that may explain a lot. The people who burn out aren't usually lazy, whatever that is. They're not weak. They're often some of the most responsible people I meet. They're trying harder than ever and somehow feeling further behind. They feel exhausted and then guilty for being exhausted. The problem is they've slowly lost the boundaries that protect them. And once you see it, you start seeing the pattern. Because out here, life depends on limits. Every living thing you see around you exists because of boundaries. And it turns out human beings work the same way. We're living systems too. A cell membrane protects the cell. It lets nutrients in and keeps toxins out. Your brain has its own boundary, the blood-brain barrier. Without it, your brain couldn't function. Even rivers have boundaries. Take away the riverbanks and you don't get a bigger river, you get a flood. And in the garden, no different. A garden fence doesn't limit growth, it protects it. Without the fence, the rabbits, deer, and groundhogs will have seconds and thirds at the all-you-can-eat buffet you spent months preparing for them. Thank you very much. Without boundaries, it's all ocean, plenty of fish and rowboats, but no fruits or vegetables, no balance. Because growth in our lives and in the garden doesn't necessarily come from more. It comes from the right conditions and balance. Now, gardeners learn this the hard way. Plants need sunlight to grow. But if you put a delicate seedling under a sun lamp 24 hours a day, you'll kill it. They need light and they need darkness. About 14 to 16 hours of light, then rest. Now, too much of a good thing ain't all that good. Too much sun, fertilizer, water will scorch, burn, and drown your plants faster than those weeds grow in the corner of your yard. Like the doc said, it's all about balance, what you let in, what you keep out, and the right proportions. Even Hollywood understands this principle. Remember the movie Jurassic Park? The whole park depends on one thing: containment systems. Electric fences, security zones, boundaries. Everything works until the fences fail. And once those boundaries break, the dinosaurs don't politely stay in their areas. They roam, they wander where they were never meant to go. They consume, they take over. And before long, chaos spreads and the park collapses. Now, the lesson isn't really about dinosaurs, it's about what happens when systems lose their boundaries. Now, look at modern life. Work follows us home, phones follow us to bed, notifications follow us everywhere. The boundaries that used to protect human life, work hours, family time, Sabbath rhythms, have quietly disappeared. And the result? Burnout, anxiety, exhaustion. Now, over the years, I've worked with a lot of good people, hardworking, responsible, trying to do the right thing. And they come in burned out, anxious, sometimes dealing with panic attacks, addictions, insomnia, depression, exhaustion. And at first, they think the answer is to try harder. They want tools to do more, to push through. Hey, I've caught myself thinking the same thing too. Maybe I just need to work harder, maybe push a little bit more. But what they eventually discover is the problem isn't that they're doing too little, it's that they're trying to do too much. without the boundaries to protect them.
You know what happens when you take the fence down in a garden? Everything gets the $9.99 buffet special.
Now, boundaries are not about control, they're about stewardship. They protect your energy, your attention, your relationships, and even your growth. So maybe this week, before you rush to fix everything, just stop for 15 minutes. Sit somewhere quiet. Think honestly about where your life feels overextended, where it feels crowded, where something feels off. Maybe even talk to someone who knows you well. Not to solve it all, just to notice it, to pay attention, to become a little more intentional about the life you're growing. And next time, we'll talk about something most people miss. The most important boundaries in your life are not the ones you set with other people. They're the ones you set with yourself. Better harvest, better boundaries, better lives. And if this kind of conversation speaks to you about growth, about change, about building a better life intentionally, consider subscribing and following along, because we've got a lot more ground to cover. See you later, friends.